He's a vault hunter. What use is a killer? A brute. A rule-breaking, loot-taking, running and gunning that.
Borderlands 4, everything we know so far. Borderlands 4 is headed our way, and we won't have to wait much longer to step into the new looter shooter from Gearbox. Now set to arrive 11 days earlier than originally planned, 2K revealed an amended release date, just before we got a huge helping of gameplay goodness in the dedicated Borderlands 4 Direct. With a deep dive look at the game in action, the showcase brought us into the new setting of Kairos, and shed light on plenty of exciting details, including the game's approach to co-op, some of the Vault Hunters will be introduced to, such a new siren, and the news that the follow-up has seen an overhaul to drop rates to improve on Borderlands 3's loot. The first Borderlands 4 trailer doesn't feature any actual gameplay, but it does set the tone for what Gearbox is trying to capture here. You can watch the teaser above, which showcases a fractured planet under siege from the skies. However, below you can also find the latest trailer for Borderlands 4, which was revealed during the Game Awards 2024. Borderlands 4 will launch on PC, PS5, Nintendo Switch 2, and Xbox Series X. 2K Games has confirmed that the title will launch on both the Epic Game Store and Steam storefronts. While Gearbox hasn't confirmed this firmly, it looks like Borderlands 4 won't be on PS4 or Xbox One, as the platforms were missing from the reveal trailer. Future Switch 2 owners will be in for a treat, though, as the souped-up next-generation Nintendo console was confirmed as one of the Borderlands 4 launch platforms we can expect in September. A Borderlands 4 gameplay deep dive from Gearbox gave us an in-depth look at the looter shooter in action. As you can see in the video above, it details how the open zones of Kairos can be freely explored, and you can expect to tuck into a variety of new activities, which you can do solo or with pals. One such activity is known as a silo, which is a location that houses old tech you can hijack. As you assume the role of a legendary vault hunter, you'll be blasting your way through hordes of enemies in search of new treasures to loot, with the deepest and most diverse skill trees of any Borderlands title yet. In an interview with us here at Games Radar Plus, senior project producer Anthony Nicholson also detailed that the upcoming entry will play around the humor and comedic opportunities we explored in Borderlands 2. The Borderlands 4 setting has been confirmed, and it's taking us away from Pandora to a new planet known as Kairos. With our first proper look at the setting during the detailed gameplay deep dive, the PlayStation blog post that followed the showcase also sheds more light on the planet. Said to be rife with warring factions, deadly fauna, and desperate inhabitants, Kairos was kept hidden for thousands of years, thanks to an oppressive figure known as the Timekeeper, who controlled the world's residents with cybernetic implants called bolts, and a synthetic army of soldiers known as the Order. Borderlands 4 is being developed by Gearbox Software, the studio responsible for all mainline games in the franchise. The Gearbox CEO says that Borderlands 4 has been in development for several years. The studio's last game was Tiny Tina's Wonderlands in 2022. Borderlands 4 will be published by 2K Games, just as it did with the previous titles. This will, however, be the first Borderlands game to release with Gearbox Software operating as an owned and operated 2K studio. The company was acquired by Take-Two Interactive in 2024.
A rule-breaking, loot-taking, running and gunning natural disaster. You are, in a word, mayhem. I take that personally.
Nothing wrong, ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of hot. No, nothing wrong with a little bit.
A citywide curfew has been enacted. Violators will be shot on sight.
Borderlands is an unforgiving sci-fi universe where life is cheap and guns are plentiful. You play as a Vault Hunter, a badass mercenary with powerful abilities called action skills.
Today I'm playing as Vex, our new siren. She wields supernatural phase energy to devastating effect. She can use that energy to empower herself, or channel it to conjure deadly minions that fight alongside her.
And because everything's better in co-op, I'm joining as Rafa, a former TDR soldier who wears an experimental exosuit. He can digistruct an arsenal of weapons, like the razor-sharp arc knives.
These are 2 of our 4 new Vault Hunters that you can play at launch.
Borderlands 4 takes place on Kairos, an all-new planet steeped in conflict. For thousands of years, the Timekeeper kept the planet hidden, controlling its inhabitants with bolts, cybernetic implants fused to their spines. Anyone who stepped out of line was brutally crushed by his army of synthetic soldiers known as the Order.
That is until 6 years ago when Elpis showed up. This rogue moon was teleported away from Pandora at the end of Borderlands 3 by the legendary Vault Hunter, Lilith. When it reappeared across the galaxy, it crashed into the protective veil around Kairos. The results were devastating. A planet-wide cataclysmic event that disrupted the Timekeeper's perfect order.